This classic Louisiana dish is one of my favorites. It's my seafood gumbo. If you want to learn this authentic and classic recipe, continue to watch and subscribe. This recipe includes sausages, crab legs, bell pepper, onions, garlic, did I say onions already? It also includes chicken thighs, crab legs. I made my own roux. It has a burst of flavors. So let's jump into the video and I'll show you how I made it. First, you want to oil your chicken thighs. And then you want to put them in a bowl. We're going to marinate the chicken. I use thigh, cayenne pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, seasoning salt, Italian seasoning, bay leaves, black pepper, Winchester sauce. So now we're going to sear the chicken thighs. Your heat need to be high. That's why I was showing you how I had my heat. Your skillet need to be extremely hot when you put the oil in. Now what I'm doing right now, I'm just filling up one measurement cup, 1 cup of peanut oil, and that's what I'm going to use to make my chicken. And the reason why I used a cup of peanut oil is because I'm making a large amount of chicken. It's still going to sear. However, I'm going to drain the oil eventually. I'm going to drain the oil in another container eventually. Um, a container that withstands hot grease. And you will see me put the chicken in and sear the chicken on each side. Each side needs to be brown. Once each side is brown, you will remove the chicken. However, I'm going to just let you go ahead and watch this video, and everything that I'm doing here is pretty much self-explanatory. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. I will answer them as soon as possible. And again, I'm searing frying the chicken, so um, this is the method that I'm using. So as the chicken thighs get cooking, you will have to continuously turn the chicken thighs as I'm doing right now. You will know your chicken thighs is done because they will be brown on both sides. I said give it about 5 to 7 minutes on each side before you turn the chicken thighs. The chicken thighs will eventually get done. As you see, my chicken thighs is about 85% done. However, continuously turning the chicken thighs on each side because you want that brown sear look. You want a brown sear look like that. So, in other words, you have to make sure you get that brown sear look. That's very important. I don't have the best skillet right now. However, it's working out for me. Like I said, I'm going to drain the grease eventually. And I'm just checking to see which ones are done and which ones are not. Because we are going to take the chicken out. All of the chicken thighs out. So now as you can see, our chicken thighs are done. I have drained the excessive oil, peanut oil out. Now we're going to go to the chicken broth. You want to use a cup first of chicken broth. And then about 2 minutes later, add another cup if you're making a lot of chicken. If you're not making a lot of chicken, you maybe only need a half a cup or a cup of chicken broth with your chicken. So you're going to put it in with your chicken and you're going to let it marinate through. You're going to let your chicken marinate through the chicken broth together. It's going to make sure you keep it on medium heat, not too high. And again, your chicken is steady going to cook and get browner. So you don't have to worry about that. It's self-explanatory as you watch the video. Okay, so you're going to gather all that chicken together once it's good and brown how you want it in the chicken broth. Now it's time for the vegetables, to chop vegetables. In your vegetables, you want your vegetables to be chopped. You want your celery to be chopped, your onions to be chopped, your green bell peppers to be chopped, your garlic, fresh garlic cloves to be chopped like mince garlic, and then you're going to add it inside of this pan with the flavored chicken broth. After you remove the chicken, you're going to remove the chicken inside of a clean container, whether it be a bowl or however you want to do it, but the chicken has to be removed. Can't stress that enough. You're going to chop up your vegetables and you're going to add it inside of the chicken broth. Add the celery. I'm also adding the red bell pepper. I'm also adding onion. I'm also adding garlic, onion, and the residue from the other vegetables, celery. Now you're just going to combine all the vegetables together to marinate inside of this chicken broth. The 2 cups that I had explained earlier. And with the chicken residue or flavors, however you want to put it, you're going to keep going back and combining it together until it's all combined. And then you're going to cut off your heat once everything is done and cooked. I say about 7 to 10 minutes, depending on your stove and your skillet that you're using. So if you can see the finishing results, you can tell that it's different from when I first started. So my vegetables are done. I'm going to cut off the heat and let it and set it aside. And then I'm going to start making my roux. I'm going to do the sausages in the skillet. I'm going to add a little oil because, like I said, I don't like my skillet. However, we're going to use what we got right now. And the sausages is cooking. I think I burnt them a little bit, but everybody that tastes my gumbo said I did fine. I told you this is my first gumbo and my seafood gumbo. However, talk a little bit too much, but yeah, I added oil inside of my skillet. My skillet heat is at a medium temp, and you're just gonna go back and forth with your sausages. If you have a fork, you can just turn it over, but however, you can use a spoon. I would prefer a wooden spoon. And you're going to go back and forth. I say about for 7 to 10 minutes. And depending on, again, what you're using and how your stove works. But you're going to know when they're done because they're going to be brown on both sides. Your sausages are going to be brown on both sides. Now, when your sausages are done, you see mine? So when your sausages are done, you're going to remove your sausages from the skillet. This skillet has to be washed out. And now I'm adding new oil. Your oil for your roux, the skillet have to be clean and everything. So I add a half a cup of oil, peanut oil, inside of my skillet for my roux. And I also added 1 cup of all-purpose flour for my roux. It wasn't seasoned flour, it was just regular flour. And I put it inside the skillet. Your skillet has to be hot, but not extremely hot, because if you burn your roux, you will have to stop, discontinue, discard everything that you made and start over. You do not want a burnt roux. So, as you can see, the skillet is getting hot with the grease. And once the skillet and the oil is hot, I'm going to add my flour as such. Now, since my skillet and everything is at the temperature that I want, I'm going to slowly go back and forth, and you will notice by my temp being so high, because I waited for the right temperature to put the oil in, my roux is going to get done really quick. But sometimes it takes 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. My roux cooked fairly fast, and you want it to get to the peanut butter color. You want it to get a peanut butter color, but you do not want to burn your roux. If you burn your roux, you will have to start over. So as you can see, this is the ending results of my roux. My roux is done. My skillet in my pan is on low heat, and it's a peanut butter color. So the next step, after you get your roux together, you're going to add chicken broth to your roux. Now, I added 32 ounces slowly to my roux, and that was enough for me. However, I did use a little bit more just because I'm extra. Sometimes I'm just extra. So this was a spicy chicken broth that I used, and I'm adding it slowly inside of my roux. You don't want any lumps inside of your roux. Please, this is the most important part, because this is where you will add the remaining chicken broth. Once this start going and getting going, cooking down, you're going to start adding everything. First, you want to add your chicken. From your chicken, you want to add all of that vegetables, all of the residue oil inside of whatever stove top pan or whatever you're using. You want to add it inside together. And then you want to add your okra. So I added okra. I did use okra. And then I added my sausages. But you will see everything that I used, because it's going to be in this video. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe, give me a like, comment. I would like to hear your feedback. This is a Chop Chat journey. I appreciate you all for watching my video. And again, back to the video. After you add the okra, everything, once you add the chicken and the vegetables, you're going to cook that for about 10 to 12 minutes. Again, depending on your stove. And then you're going to add your okra and your sausages, and you're going to let that cook for about 20 minutes. Especially if you use the okra that I use, that's kind of, you can use it frozen, or you can use it you can defrost it. I had mine defrost, but however, it still took about 20 minutes to cook. And then the sausages, and you want to just simmer everything down and just let it cook. After that, you're going to add your crab legs. So as you can see, I'm adding my chicken. And I'm going to let it marinate in. From here on out, everything is self-explanatory. I explained the whole concept of the gumbo. Like, here's the vegetables. Like I said, all of that needs to go in there, including the residue oil. What makes the flavor. Okay, so you put that in there. I could have added more oil, but however, we'll be all right. And you're gonna fold that in. You can cover your pan, or you can leave it uncovered. And then I waited 2 minutes, 3 minutes after I stirred it and everything, and added the second can. And like I said, I had a lot of chicken, so I just made everything to fit the chicken that I had. So the tomato sauce in it is in there. Everything is in there. Now we're gonna add the cut okra. So I'm showing you the kind of okra that I use. And I'm gonna do about half the bag. So I'm gonna put half the bag inside of my gumbo. After that, we're going to go ahead and let that simmer down. And then we're going to go ahead and add the crab legs after 20 minutes. About 20 minutes, you're going to let that cook. And the same thing, I had to find room for these crab legs, but I made it happen. And I let them cook for about, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, because they was kind of frozen. About 20 minutes. And again, I had to find room. If it wasn't 20 minutes, it was at least 15 minutes. It wasn't past 20 minutes. And yeah, but I made everything work. I made everything work. This food was so delicious. When I tell you this food was so delicious, it was so delicious. Have you ever made gumbo before? Do you think you can pull this video off? Are you going to try this video? Let me know. Chat with me. Let me know in the comments if you're going to try this video, how you liked this video. Give me some pointers, advice. And this is my classic Louisiana dish, and I just love it. It's one of my favorite dishes. Everything that I make is good and faithful to me. Like I said, I let it cook down for about 15-20 minutes. I went all the way from the bottom and came to the top to cover the crab legs to get them to start cooking, because I just didn't have the big Dutch pot or stovetop pot that I wanted. And then you see how I put those scrimps in there. Those was the jumbo scrimps. And then I'm just scooping up the gumbo and just combining everything together for about, like I said, 15-20 minutes. Yep. And that's how I made my seafood gumbo. Hopefully you make this dish. Let me know how it went. Subscribe, like, comment. I appreciate you all for watching my video. It will be a new video every week, maybe more than 2. But I know for sure 1 is going to be out every week and every other probably day. God bless you. Have a great day. My Louisiana dish, classic seafood gumbo.
Yes, that's just all that. Got you on your shorts.